Allan Border's captaincy really needs to be put into two eras. There was the first part where he was particularly a reluctant captain. He really didn't want a captain. In fact, I think certainly on one occasion, maybe even two occasions, he actually said, if the Australians don't start playing better, I'll quit the captaincy. Well, you generally don't offer to quit the Australian captaincy more than once, because usually the selectors just buzz you off if you offer to quit. And as they should too, because you should never offer to quit as a captain. But there wasn't much else around in the way of options at that point. But Border, in those early years of his captaincy, as I say, was very reluctant, and his best captaincy was done at the Sydney Cricket Ground. He was a very good captain of spinners. Sydney in those days was spinning a lot, and he won test matches in Sydney by utilising his spinners extremely well. But Allan had this ridiculous thought in his mind. Because he'd had so much trouble with the West Indies, with all their fast bowlers, he was waiting for the day when when Australia had 4 fast bowlers, which is a bad way to captain the side, because you might never get 4 fast bowlers and they mightn't be anywhere near as good as the West Indies anyhow. So the idea as a captain is you've got to win with what you've got. Suddenly in 1989, I don't know what provoked the change, but there was a terrific change in Allan Border's captaincy, and he suddenly decided, perhaps because he had some younger players coming into the team, he suddenly decided that he was going to lead that team. And once he decided he was going to lead that team, he became, I thought, a pretty decent captain. And I'm thinking in particular the first test match at Leeds. England got a couple of early wickets, and I think when he walked into bat, Australia were about 2 for 68, somewhere around that mark. And he immediately, there were a couple of short balls and he took them on, and he was a very good puller and a very good cutter, Allan Border. And it sort of sent the message not only to England, you know, I'm not here to be pushed around, but it also sent a very strong message to his own team. And to me, it was a watershed moment in Border's career as a captain. It was, I've had enough of this being pushed around, I'm going to start to do a bit of the pushing around. And if you look at Border from 1989 onwards, he had a very successful period as captain. I think the problem with Allan was that they were never going to beat the West Indies because you had Allan, who's a bit of a pessimist as a captain, and you had Bob Simpson as a coach, who's an arch conservative, and that's not the way you beat a very good cricket team. There's only one way you'll beat a very good cricket team, and that's by attacking them. There's no guarantees that you'll win, but it's you give yourself your best chance. So I think that was one of the reasons why Allan Border couldn't beat the West Indies during his period of captaincy. But certainly that last half of his captaincy period, starting with the '89 Ashes series, he became a very good captain.